Hello everyone, welcome to another session on dollar INR. Unfortunately, it's not a great time. The war in the Middle East is just continuing. It started last weekend and now it is 1 week about to finish and oil is boiling. Okay, if you look at the chart today, I will show you 4 charts today, very interesting. If you look at the crude prices, this is Brent crude daily prices, and if you look at the price, you could very easily see how this jump has happened. In the last weekend when it started, there was a big up gap from 73.50 to almost 75.75. I'm talking about Brent prices. So big jump as soon as the price is opened, and from 75 we have come to 89.5. Okay, so almost a $15 jump in just about a week's time, and all of us know why it is happening. Okay, so this is the daily chart, and if you look at the chart, it has broken all these resistance areas. Okay, the crude prices have broken all the resistance areas and have surged higher. Okay, now this is the daily chart. I want to show you the weekly chart as well. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. Now in the weekly chart, this is a very long term chart. This is from 2022 onwards till now, and if you look at the chart, these lines have all been very long term resistance areas. Okay, trend lines connecting the peaks, all long term resistance areas, even this trend line. And if you look at the current prices, if you look what has happened here, all these resistance areas have been broken. All the trend line resistances have been broken, and we saw in the daily chart as well that the horizontal resistance line, typically that would have come here on the daily chart, even that was broken. Okay, so technically crude has gone on an uptrend, and all of us know there is a fundamental disruptive factor why that is happening, and all resistance is broken and crude is continuously surging higher. Okay, actually that is not really good news for dollar rupee. We are huge importers of crude, and that is not good news. Okay, I'll come to dollar INR in the end. I also want you to show wanted to show the dollar index chart, the DXY chart. Okay, now this is the DXY chart, this is the daily chart, and if you would have seen for a big long period, about 1.5 years, it has primarily moved sideways. But what has happened in the recent past, in the last 1.5 months or so, from the end of January, beginning of Feb, we have seen the dollar index continuously going higher. It had gone as low as 95, 96, but now it has almost come to 99, and that is very close to all these resistance areas. Okay, very close to all these resistance areas, which is around 100, 150. Okay, we are already at 99.40. So if dollar index is moving higher, which means dollar is getting strong, and typically rupee will feel the pressure. Okay, so now what are we seeing? We are seeing crude continuously going higher. Now we are seeing dollar index going higher. So what is happening? We will see a double whammy, or compounded accentuated pressure on the rupee. Okay, and we have been following this very closely. A good long term trend line, trend channel making higher highs and higher lows, very clear if you look at it. Okay, this is going higher, sorry, this is going higher, even this is going higher, a decent uptrend, and now the war has started and it is almost a week. The crude prices have gone above the roof, dollar is getting stronger. Okay, so what is the bottom line on rupee? Now, being heavy importers of crude, if crude is going to such a level, obviously we are going to feel the pain. The currency is going to feel the pain. Our import bills are going to get bloated and larger. So there will be a larger amount of dollar buying. So rupee will continue to remain under pressure. The central bank RBI might intervene just like it intervened yesterday. They might intervene once a while. Okay, but let us understand very clearly, they are not going to stop the flood. If the rupee continuously weakens due to external factors, RBI will guard, but they will not guard continuously. Okay, so the likely output of a higher crude and a higher dollar index is that rupee will probably continue to remain under pressure. Okay, so we are very close to the all-time highs of dollar INR, all-time high of dollar and all-time low of rupee, very close to 92. Okay, and until if RBI stops or takes a back seat, we will see pressure coming back to rupee again. Okay, so in such a scenario, what is the recommendation for hedging decisions for dollar exporters and importers? Okay, dollar importers, rupee weakening is going to be heavily against you, so you should certainly look to hedge. During this war time, you can't keep unhedged positions, so hedge using forwards and also use some degree of vanilla options to hedge. Earlier I had showed last week vanilla options were cheaper, but now in the current scenario where there is a high geopolitical risk premium, the vanilla options will not be really cheap as it was last week. But still, considering the overall geopolitical risk, I think some vanilla options should be done by dollar importers. But heavily going towards majority hedge position should be in forwards and some with options to diversify your risk. Okay. Now, what is there for dollar exporters? Now, rupee weakening is obviously going to help dollar exporters. So, you can keep some a good chunk of your exposures unhedged, but obviously you can't keep everything unhedged, that is just too much of risk and speculation. So, what you should do typically is to buy dollar puts. You should not have a large hedge position on using forwards, because forward premiums are relatively very low, 2.5–3%. Rupee weakening percentage could be higher. Okay, and in a situation where there are all factors pushing rupee to further weakness, I think vanilla puts are a better alternative than forwards. So, you can have some small portion of forwards just to have certainty. You should have slightly bigger portion of vanilla options to get that flexibility, and also to keep a decent amount of unhedged exposures to participate in this continuous rupee weakening. Okay. So, that is it from my side. Please evaluate, understand the risk, very heavy, very uncomfortable situation. So, please take your risk hedging decisions wisely and prudently. Okay. So, have a great weekend ahead.